normal. We just kind of vamp at this point.
Don't sing that. People are going to think we're tuned into some sort of religious programming.
Okay.
Which is fine if that's your kind of thing, but that's not what we're doing today, is it?
No. We're just kind of vamping until we see ourselves appear on our screen. I nearly said ourselves.
There's an advert playing, which means...
terribly poor English. Oh.
Skip. Right, we're on. Should we start the show?
Let's start the show! Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney fans, and welcome to another Disneyland Paris podcast. Oh. As you can see, we don't have a Chris with us. However, he has just appeared in the live chat from his hotel at Ashford because he's in the Holiday Inn in Ashford, ready to get on the... He's not going Eurostar, is he? He's going Channel.
Mm-hmm.
Channel. What's that called? It's not called the Channel.
The
Le Shuttle. Le Shuttle. To go to Disneyland Paris with his family.
Yes, and Lucas is vlogging the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah. Chris did say clogging. People have been having fun with that. I don't tend to like people think I'm the kind of guy who like picks up on typos and makes fun of them, but I don't. I let them slide. So I knew what he meant. But people have been making fun of him for saying clogging in the chat. But he's since corrected it as Chris.
Cool. So in his place, we've got a Bonnie Bean.
Yeah. We are flipped again. It's a YouTube thing. I don't know how to sort that out, but that's it. That's all I'll say on the thing. We're flipped the wrong way around. But we've not typed, so it doesn't matter. So
we've got trip reports to talk about today. We've got one bit of news. We haven't bonged yet. Bong.
I'm going to swap my wedding ring onto the other hand so it looks like we're the right way around. Bong. Storming good fun.
There, I think we should have started with that. I never know how things go when Chris isn't here. Anyway.
How do we sound, by the way? Because we're on my phone for a change, because there's been a bit of crackling before. Well, we can probably listen, can't we? Storming good fun.
Yeah, I think we should have started with that.
There was a crackle then.
Anyway.
How do we sound, by the way? Because we're on my phone.
This is not making good TV. We are, at least, okay. We're audible. We're audible. That's what matters.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue. I just want to say this young lady next to me is in her final week at junior school and going on her first ever school residential tomorrow. What? How do you feel, Bonnie?
Very good.
Very good, very excited?
Yes.
We've bought a uniform. We've bought a dress for your leaving party. It's not prom, but, you know, we got your nice fancy dress, didn't we?
So it's all go in the rain house. How is it in your house, guys and gals?
Well,
Did you like that segue?
Yeah. Find out?
Let's find out how everyone's doing.
I'll get the old train whistle out. Hello, Blake. First in the chat today was Bonnie, which is cheating because she told me to tell her when I'd scheduled the show, and she was first. And she says, first in the chat, she says, with
insider trading, government corruption. I'm going to be a whistleblower.
He walked into the living room and went, right, I'm going to schedule a stream. And I went...
There was a conversation about...
What?
Doesn't matter, Bonnie. Right, Joey says, hey, everyone, feeling the Dublin blues today. So looking forward to all the news and views this week. What are the Dublin views? Blues.
I think, well, two things. Either you've just come back from Dublin, and I'm trying to remember if you told us you were there last week. I think she might have done.
Oh.
Or it's a euphemism for a hangover.
The Dublin blues.
The Dublin blues. That sounds about right. I used to have an Irish friend who drank a lot of Guinness and had lots of sayings like that.
Well, I hope you feel better soon. Joey, Emily is here. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi.
Evening all. 15 days till our first Disney cruise.
No, I'm so jealous. That sounds amazing.
We told our kids at Christmas, but kept it a secret that my parents are also coming and have booked the adjoining room.
That's exciting. Is it going from
P.S.
Southampton?
Don't mention this live on the show because it's a surprise.
No, it doesn't.
I made that bit up.
Yeah.
Emily says, she also adds, we're hoping to get to the adults bar one evening, enjoy the adults pool one day, as my kids are not up for the kids club, sadly.
You see, we didn't think Bonnie was. Bonnie, particularly when she was younger, was not big on being away from us, and only child, so it was always a bit of a wrench. It was also coming out of COVID. She took a bit of persuading. It was a little bit hesitant. She absolutely loved it, didn't you?
It was so fun.
When I turned in to pick her up, she saw me and she went, "Aww."
Yeah.
No offence.
Yeah, no offence. Louise is here. Hey everyone, 13 days until we go to DLP for our 4th family visit. Literally cannot wait. We leave at 2 a.m. So I'm going to save the next 2 podcasts to keep me awake. So I'll listen then. Ta-ta for now. Chris did say, because he's away, Chris normally processes them. So there's going to be a bit of a wait on the next 2 podcasts. So that might affect you, Louise. Sorry.
We're not even kidding about that, are we?
No. Maybe you could watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, it'll stay on YouTube. You can you just can't get it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Yeah.
Because that needs a bit of processing, and our process person is not here.
One day he'll teach me how to do it, and then hopefully he won't teach me that. John says, evening guys, just had a Roundtree's mango ice lolly, 5 stars, would recommend. Hope everyone had a good week. John, today we went to Slim Chickens, which is basically because Chicken Guy in Florida at Disney World has changed and we don't like it anymore, but Slim Chickens is like the old Family Guy, Chicken Guy.
Yeah.
But I did the thing where I got this mango habanero sauce, and then I saw there was and I got another one, and then I saw there was a Reaper sauce. So I went back in and I thought I was deselecting one to select the other. Turns out when I got into amend it, I was confirming again the one that I thought I was removing. So I missed out on the mango habanero sauce. So that's my mango story.
And those are the 2 most Hugh words in the English language.
Mango and habanero.
Habanero isn't even an English word.
We've got Andrew in the chat, Andrew P and Jimmy with a pink hand. Kelfie is here also. Hi all, 4 weeks to go before Orlando. We got Ruthie and Bram. Mercedes is here of Chat Disney fame. Hey gang, says Mercedes. Chris also here, as we see 2 more sleeps for us, joining you from the holiday in Ashford, as we've already mentioned. And we've got Jen and Smigaroo. Emily says, anyone else see the Peach Dole Whip in America?
What?
Think, like epic.
They're always bringing out these new fancy Dole Whips, and there's a place in Disney Springs called Swirls on the Water that does like tasting flights of the weirder flavors, like the watermelon.
And we never do it.
Coconut, and it's on our bucket list every year, and for some reason, we're just never feeling it when we're in Disney Springs, are we?
Good luck with the toilets, Chris, says Emily. Bonnie's just showing me that. Maybe it will become apparent what that means. Andrew H says, evening all, have spent all weekend planning my Canada trip. Now time for a cup of tea and some 37 Disney Street.
Who's going to Canada?
Andrew
Wow. Bucket list.
Yeah. Where the Spencers go say, hey guys, so excited to be tuning in live again. Well, thanks for coming. Looking forward to the show and very jealous that Chris and the family are in Disney, or about to be. Hope they have a fab trip. Good luck with the toilets, Chris, says Emily. So we don't know what that was about.
What?
I think it was about Lucas clogging things.
Okay. Good evening, says Pauline. We're on summer holidays from school. See, Bonnie has an extra week because she has 1 week off extra at Easter. Well, she did.
No, May.
Which means we can go to Disney World.
That's when
without the crowds.
That's when we go to Disney World, when she gets her spare week in May. Now you'd think, oh no, we're going to lose that when she goes to high school, but by pure coincidence, she happens to be going to a high school that does the same thing but gives us the extra week in October. So now we get to go every year in October.
Got that.
Hey!
Chris says we sound beautiful.
Oh.
Sounds grand, sounds okay, says everyone. Mercedes says, Bonnie, your Spirit jersey has made me emotional as I just bought it for my little boy. How are you going to high school?
I know. Don't get me started.
Bus, I think.
I didn't react to that. What? It took me a second. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like, how are you that old?
How are we going to high school? By the bus.
Chris says these crowns are confusing. There are crowns in the chat, and they seem to be swapping around. We've got Emily's currently got the number 1 on, and Jen's got
I've
3.
got number 1 on.
And Chris has 2. I love Disney says hello.
50.
It's very hierarchical, this YouTube crown situation, isn't it? I think we're a bit more egalitarian here.
Chris has ditched us in favour of Friends, because Friends is on TV. And Emily says, we're sailing from Southampton to Spain, Lucy. I'm hoping they'll change their minds about kids clubs The Velcro kids.
Bonnie was a Velcro kid for many years. In fact, there are times and places when you still are a little bit, but she's matured.
And finally, Chris is saying, I'm going to see what I can do with the podcast. It'll be difficult for me to sort as I haven't brought the laptop. No worries, Chris. Just enjoy your holiday. We got Ruthie says, hi, Mercedes. Love the chat, Disney Pod.
Yes.
And voiceover Guy is here. Good evening. 88 days to Walt Disney World. And now 255 days until Disney Wish.
That's really exciting.
And we've also got Ed.
Okay.
Ed rounding off the chats. So that's everyone, I think.
Ed.
I keep saying, I know I keep telling you about, one thing, just like literally, just before we started coming on to speak to you lovely guys, I got on my phone and got on Expedia and booked our hotel for our October Disneyland Paris trip. Because
So we are going.
We are definitely going. I've
Yay.
booked it now. We're staying off-site so that we can use the money saved to get annual passes and then go back next year and stay on-site.
We get to rub out the infinity sign on our days until Disney chalkboard.
Finally. Because it's very rare we don't have a countdown on there. We're a bit like guys. Sometimes we've got 2 on the go. But just because he's reminded me with the Disney Wish, we're still thinking about next year's October trip, which will be our first October trip. And we're saying it's going to be a Disney Plus holiday. And at the moment, there's 2 leading options, and I'm just going to float the third. So there is Disney World Plus Orlando, Disneyland Plus road trip in an RV.
Plus Orlando.
Sorry, Universal. My
Plus,
bad.
Right.
So Disney World plus Universal Orlando, Disneyland plus road trip in an RV, or I'm just floating similar kind of funds, Disney World plus Disney Cruise.
We have never been to Disney World during Halloween, and I think to miss out our first ever opportunity is just...
I like what the girl's saying. I also know you really want to do that road trip in California, but I can't bear the thought of not going to Disney World for like 3.5 years or whatever it'll end up being.
Maybe we should just do one more in October so we've completed the set.
Yes.
And then we'll go to Anaheim.
Yes.
I think so.
I think so. I think it's another Disney World one.
Yeah.
And then Anaheim, then back to Disney World, and then Tokyo
Maybe.
in like 2030.
Yes, says Guy. Anaheim and road trip. Walt Disney World and cruise. We are doing 1 day in the park, then cruise, then 6 days back in Walt Disney World next year. Do it.
Yes.
What's this about? Mercedes is asking, are the annual passes worth it now? I was going to buy one just before they changed the offer. Sure, you get asked this all the time, but would love to hear a bit more about how you maximise them. And thanks, Ruthie, for the podcast comments.
Right. Here's the thing. We back and forthed a lot, didn't we? And we did exactly the same thing last year in that we justified the price of a silver pass. We poised ourselves to buy a silver pass and then realised that the blackout dates didn't work for us because there's 52 blackout dates. And then we did the same this time. We nearly discounted it. What changed our mind was that we could get 3 gold annual passes and a cheapy offsite for a similar price to a Disney package. And then we could go back next year and pay room only. And it's like, so we don't save anything on this, but we have to stay off site to make it work, but we can go back next year and then it will theoretically be cheaper. Now, because our Disney World trip has moved because of Bonnie moving schools, I am far more certain that we will get 2, maybe 3 trips in that time. Whereas, probably 2. But I'm still angling for like a quick one in the summer or something. But when we were going May to May, we couldn't guarantee that we'd manage to get there more than twice. And my work has become very unpredictable in recent times. So if we do this trip, we just won't lose anything, basically. We'll have spent the same as a package and we'll get the discounts. Next trip we'll have saved something.
So are they worth it?
Are they worth it? Well, just that's the maths. That's what I said. I don't think they're as worth it as they used to be. You could justify it for 1 long trip last time, and certainly for 2. So it's like 699 euros adult for us. They now do a child's pass that they didn't used to. So Bonnie's is cheaper, but I can't remember how much Bonnie's was. But it came out that it was about £1,600 for all three of us. And then we've got a hotel for 380. And it's a hotel we've stayed at before and we really like. So for less than 2,000, we've got
Resid home.
3 nights, 4 days for less than 2,000, staying off site. And that's about equivalent as to what Sequoia Lodge or Newport Bay would have been. We could have been cheaper if we'd stayed at Cheyenne or Santa Fe, but it's equivalent.
Should we get into some news or have a drink or do something like that?
Let's have a drink.
Let's have a drink then.
Let's have a drink. I've been talking a lot.
We don't have the jingle, I'm afraid. You just have to imagine the tiki cup jingle.
In the tiki cup, in the tiki cup,
something like that. I found these in a co-op. It's just called Pina Colada, and I like these because I like bold, simple design, slightly cartoony, and it's just got a big palm tree and a sun, and it says Pina Colada on it. So we're having those. Bonnie's having a orange and pineapple juice, so she's got like half a colada in there, haven't you? With the you've got the pina, and you know what? Sometimes pina colada is just pina colada, isn't it?
Oh yeah, except what did we have at Port Orleans last time? A pina colada.
Oh yeah.
They do them all over Disney actually, pina coladas. We just happened to have one from the pool bar at French Quarter. That was the best thing that's ever been in my mouth.
Wow.
That's good. That's good. It's all right.
You were like,
She just said that.
you were in the pool with Peter, like looking at the thunderstorm in the distance. Because shortly after finishing that, we had to run to our room. So the only bit of news, I do feel a bit of a cough coming, so I hope I can hold it in, is that it was Bastille Day last weekend, the 14th of July. 1, 2, 3. Oh, thank you. We both did it. So this was a celebration of being French. I do like that they also have a national holiday based around a minor terrorist attack. We also have one of those. We have Bonfire Night. So yeah, Bastille Day to celebrate the storming of the Bastille in the French Revolution. And they had drones and a fireworks show that looked amazing. They managed to do this thing, and I thought it had been photoshopped, where the drones kind of made an ornate picture frame around the castle, and then fireworks around the castle. And I just thought that was somebody's graphic design. And then I realised it was actually a live sort of screenshot. It looked really, really good. But I am here for drone shows. I think they are the future. I prefer them to fireworks shows. The more accessible, you can see them and see them from further away, and they are better. And you just appreciate the creativity behind them. They also had champagne stand all day on Main Street. Mickey and Minnie being very French in their French berets, outfits, and so on. And also they had a celebratory pin, which I am going to show these two for their reactions. And I like it because it's got the actual date on. It says 14th of Juillet. 2025, and it's got Quasimodo. Juillet.
I don't know.
It's not for me, but
I don't rate that film.
I'm not into Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's just got the Hunchback. Does he have a name?
Quasimodo.
Oh yeah, Quasimodo. Sorry. Just kind of swinging around and having a fun old time of it. It looks like.
If I was there, I would buy it. I would buy it for up to like. For a celebration pin like that, I reckon it's going to be around €22, if not more. I wouldn't go like 30 like it was for that waltz one. That was ridiculous because I was dead set on buying that. And then I was like, 30? What? No. But yeah, I like Hunchback, but I like that it's got a very specific date on because I've spoken before, I buy my pins to attach to memories. And so like my pin collection is like a scrapbook of all our Disney trips, and that would, if we were there on the 14th of July, that would definitely do it. However, we weren't, so I won't.
Attaching pin badges to memories sounds like you're pushing them into your skull.
It does. It does sound slightly Harry Potter-esque, doesn't it? So yeah, it's another one of those. We report on these all the time, like when they do St. Patrick's Day and when they do Valentine's Day and and Stitch Day a couple of weeks ago. And we're like, not sure it would make me plan a trip. Massive Brucey bonus if you can be there when there's one on. Like, it makes it really, really memorable. We've frozen on our screen.
No, we haven't. No, I've just paused it because I don't want 5 devices running at once, you know, when we're on the Wi-Fi, casting a show, you know, streaming a show. So that's why I paused it. Where the Spencers go say Disney Cali is amazing at Halloween. And road trip wise, it's such a beautiful part of the world, especially with the fall colours.
Yeah, because it would be autumn when we October, end of October when we went.
Smigaroo says California Coast road trip is dreamy. That's what I'm counting on. Mercedes said thanks for that, Bonnie. Helpful context about the APs. Jen says Bastille Day fireworks and DLP is on my bucket list. And Pauline says Lucy, there's a drone show in Manchester. I keep seeing advertised on Facebook. If I can, I will try to tag you next time I see it.
That would be really cool. That would be really cool. And Manchester is a mere 40-minute train journey from us. I made that sound quite long, but once you sat on a train, it's not far at all, is it?
No.
It's 2 chapters of your book, depending on the book. Right.
We've got a couple of trip reports. I don't know if we'll get to both of them, but we'll certainly get to one.
Are we going to get to one now?
Shall we?
Yes.
Shall we? I shall get it up. Now, hang on.
You get that cough out. We don't normally get to a trip report this early in the proceedings, do we?
It's because there's
no news.
With regards to news, we've had 2 weeks of really scant news.
Nepad news.
There's quite a lot of construction. And construction news can get, if I do it every week, it gets a little bit, oh, they've added a few more tiles on the roof of this building and stuff like that. But what I'm thinking is I'll save it up, spend a bit of time researching, looking at all the photos, then I'll do you a big construction show pretty soon. But the reason there's not much news is we're getting into peak season now, and they tend to not do big announcements, change anything major, close anything, open anything once you get into that peak holiday season, because they're just on like a function path for the next 6 to 8 weeks, I reckon. So this isn't unusual. Same happens in December. It's like, right, we just need to focus on servicing the customers. We're going to have to do them in reverse order because I have the most recent one handy and I would have to look for the others. So there you go. Do you want to do this?
Yep. So how long is this? Just so I'm prepared. This is quite long. So let's rattle through it. This is, where is it from? Who is it from?
You can go back and look at it is from Julia.
Julia, not sure if this will reach you in time for Chris's DCR trip, but here's a trip report from this week at DCR, including music festival bits. Sorry, it isn't under 1,000 words, but feel free to chop it as needed. Well, let's just go for it. We have time. Trip report, July 2025, DCR, that's David Crockett Ranch, and Music Festival. Firstly, thank you for your weekly live shows, the answers to some questions on there, and Facebook for helping us with our 3rd DLP trip. We are a family 4 with 4 and 6-year-old girls, and we stayed at David Crockett Ranch for 3 nights / 4-day package in a premium cabin, but with an extra DCR night the night before. We drove there via Premier in Dover for 1 night, only £50, and the ferry down to Val d'Europe. The shopping centre was absolutely packed, possibly as it was Bastille Day. We did our shopping at the what's that? Alcan, as recommended. Lots of wine and lunch supplies, and of course took in the huge stationery section. We've been stationery shopping today for, well, just getting an idea for high school.
Yep.
We then planned to stay at the Adagio Apart Hotel Saris before our DLP days, but fortunately my husband had checked last week the height limit in the car park, and we couldn't have parked there due to our roof box. Luckily, it wasn't much more expensive to book a standard David Crockett Ranch lodge instead, with 10% on hotels.com, with health service discounts, hashtag not an ad. On the booking, I didn't say that. Julia said that. On the booking, was it Julia or Julie?
Julia.
Julia. On the booking, I mentioned we had an existing booking at DCR and asked to be in the same cabin for all 4 nights if possible. I didn't think this would work, but on our arrival, the lovely DCR staff informed us we had a free upgrade to a premium cabin for the first night, and we could therefore stay in the same cabin for both bookings. A lovely sprinkle of Disney magic.
Oh, pixie dusted, pixie dusted.
We used that spare afternoon to go
Being
for a
magic.
swim. The kids loved the slide and lazy river, and we hired towels for £2 each, which saved on packing. The premium room was slightly beneficial, possibly for A, being closer to the main reception / facilities, but we only actually walked there twice to go for a swim or eat. B, premium amenities. The robes and slippers, fairly pointless, an espresso machine, but we were only provided with 4 caffeinated pods, and there was no possibility to buy more. There was a filter machine though, and they do sell filters and coffee at the shop. Having not stayed there before, pros of DCR were a slightly cheaper trip, ability to self-cater breakfast and lunch, and having separate rooms for us and the kids. It's a lovely environment, including the reception / square. The staff were very helpful and kind, unlike other places.
Oh.
And the pool was great. We hired pool towels for £2 each, which saved on packing. Huh. So good you said it twice.
I haven't been in every Disney pool in Paris, but David Crockett Ranch is hands down the favourite one I have been in. It's
Oh yeah, it's a nice one.
it's good.
However, the cabins are definitely very tired, with musty bathrooms and some dirty corners, and it was missing some self-catering essentials like tea towel and scissors. The areas around the cabins are private, i.e. overgrown, meaning the picnic bench deck outside wasn't a very appealing area. I found
That's
that.
why we're glad that they're upgrading them,
There you go.
refurbing them.
I'd be interested to find out how the new cabins are from September, as I hope lots of these things will be fixed. Obviously, a downside is it's also not walking distance to the parks, but we timed 25 minutes total from our lodge to the gate of the studios, which was pretty good actually.
So does that mean those roadworks are finished? Because we had 25 minutes sat in a traffic jam last Christmas.
I mean, if it's just like plain sailing shortest route, it should be like five minutes.
Well, 5 minutes to getting parked. If she's saying to be in the gate of the studios.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
But actually get in the car to park in the car should be 5 minutes by the actual route.
In 4 park days, we managed to get to 3 extra magic times, and we covered basically every ride we wanted to do and every show that was open, including all of the music festival bits. Some notable things included rides. Quite a lot of downtime for Big Thunder Mountain, including when we had planned to do it in EMT. The Pirates refurb was great. Felt generally there was more lighting / pyrotechnics, or we didn't notice before.
Pyrotechnics.
Great swinging pirate and 2 cats and I think 3 boxes. For Remy, we didn't have 3D glasses, but it seems pretty 3D on the screen. Not sure if they've upgraded that.
I'm waiting for the day that someone does a trip report and goes, there were 4 cats on 8 boxes, and we all go, what? What ride is she on?
So 3D glasses, the screen seemed to have been maybe upgraded, they think, perhaps.
What's this for, sorry?
There was no 3D glasses because they've stopped doing the 3D glasses, but she did say that they might have upgraded because it seems pretty 3D on the screen.
Oh, Remy. Yes, they
Yeah.
have. Yes.
We tried Crusher's Coaster for the first time and Hyperspace Mountain for the first time for the 6-year-old, but she wasn't a huge fan. Also managed to get the English version
6-year-old?
of Star Tours again by asking the cast member, again, a great tip. I just feel that I feel a bit shy doing that. English, please! I don't do it.
Yeah. But we've discussed before, I believe that we are too backwards in coming forwards as a family. But we are. I wish we weren't, but we are. We know so many people who've just asked for that English version. And then we always get a little bit, oh no.
Maybe if we asked for English, but in like a German accent.
Yeah.
English, please. Entschuldigung. Yeah. And then, then they won't think we're just like
Lazy English people.
ignorant Brits.
Yeah.
Which we are.
Yeah. It's like opting for your second language instead of your third.
Yeah. I think that's a good tip.
I don't think you need the tip. Loads of people just say that they ask for it and they're like, yes, of course.
I don't know, I'm shy. Restaurants, we ate at Crockett's Tavern. Dinner, 3.5 stars. Nice outdoor barbecue area.
We ate there.
I don't remember anything about it, apart from Bonnie playing with a goofy Western toy set.
His name's Magnus, and he's fixing the room.
She called him Magnus instead of Goofy.
I remember it being fine. A bog standard Disney buffet, and I say bog standard as in Disney buffets are really good. But I don't remember it standing out the way somewhere like Pim Kitchen or Cafe Agrabah does.
Rainforest Cafe dinner, 3.5 stars, decently average food, but a great environment for the kids after a long day.
Yep.
We always have fun in there.
We do, and I actually find the food quite good.
Yeah.
I think we've been twice and had poor service both times, but we don't mind poor service.
Speaking of which, Pim Kitchen, 5 p.m. dinner, 5-star.
In it.
I had forgotten how good this was. A large kids section and a broad range of kid-friendly food generally. Great air conditioning and themed room and great service. Highly recommend.
And the first place we ever had corn dogs.
Yeah.
Did you have one?
No.
Me and Hugh had corn dogs.
Plaza Garden dinner, 4 stars. We had Tigger, Eeyore, Hook, Smee and Geppetto.
You ate them?
Yeah, they were delicious. We were worried the kids wouldn't be very interested in those characters as they're less familiar, but they loved it and have had lovely hugs from the cuddly characters.
Aww.
Auberge Princess Breakfast, 4.5 stars. We preferred this to the previous lunches here. The food was more accessible to the kids. It felt more relaxed and somehow felt a bit more of a treat than the faux fancy lunch. You get one fewer princesses. Good use of fewer instead of less there. I like your style. And no mice. But we got Cinderella, Aurora and Jasmine, so a big hit for the girls. We were there at the same time as another family of friends, and they allowed us to sit together on a big table and were accommodating of dietary requirements. They have the standard breakfast, but just with no meat. Extra waffle. Is that like more talking? And the person with nut allergy just got the same breakfast, so it may be just generally nut free. I'm not sure. Disclaimer: please check with cast members for all allergies.
Of course.
This is an excellent trip report. Like all the little asides. It's all thought. It's all planned out.
This is helping people out there. Can I just about that? Thing is, I really did like Susie and Perla, the mice. Like that, I remember them better than I remember the princesses, and being greeted by them, that was nice. But I agree, when we went, it was faffy Michelin star style food, which is great, but you're in a kids restaurant, you know what I mean? It's a princess thing, and it's very inaccessible, I think, the food. Continue. Royal Banquet, 5 stars. Again, excellent for us. We were pleased to have this booking for lunch, as it was a 29-degree day and very busy in the parks. So this is at Disneyland Hotel. Right? Yeah.
A great range of food in a gorgeous environment. We sat in the room with all the family, royal family portraits with a view of Main Street Railroad Station. The 4 characters, Minnie, Mickey, Goofy, Pluto, came around several times, much to the kids' delight.
Yeah, how did we feel about that? We did that one on our last trip.
It was good.
Yes, it was good.
It was good.
I stocked up on desserts to kind of, that's when I make my money back, on the desserts.
Were we in the horses room?
Yeah, horses
yes, we
room.
were.
Horses.
Meet and greets. We used the virtual queue system, which was very good overall. I just wouldn't have queued 2 hours for Mickey or Princess Pavilion before. You can join the virtual queue twice a day, 9:45 and 2 p.m. and it gives you a wait time to come back. We managed Princess Pavilion, Stitch and Olaf. The other days we had times for Mickey and Spider-Man, but didn't use them as we had other plans. Some other times the queue was full too quickly. It would be annoying if that happened to you every time, but we had a fair balance, I think. We also queued 20 minutes for Daisy at the bottom of Main Street one day, and there seemed to be a lot of characters out and about generally, including Jack Sparrow. Good. We're on to shows now. Yeah, we're getting towards the end. Shows. The newer Alice show was a hit for our kids and us. It's different to the other shows, but a fun mix of pop and rock songs and an enthusiastic cast. It reminded me a bit of the Six musical. We've seen that.
Yeah, interesting.
We also saw PhilharMagic for the first time, which was a welcome 15 minutes of rest and aircon.
Yeah, that's what that show is. I really like it, but it's a tip to just sit down, isn't it?
Same goes for all the classic shows, which were excellent as usual. We managed the fireworks by eating at 8 at Plaza Garden, then finding a spot just outside straight afterwards. About an hour before the fireworks, we stood behind a fence in front of the Stitch statuette and had a nice vista through the trees. Tales of Magic was lovely. Great to have the inclusion of the drones and a bit less scary than the previous shows. No Star Wars. Notably, no appearance of Mickey though, which was odd. Overall, worth keeping the kids up for, and we're glad we did. Music festival. We caught all of the happenings. Isn't that when there's like a haunting?
Yeah.
These were a really nice addition to the usual offerings, as our kids really loved the dances and being up close to the stars. Generally, people let the kids go and sit at the front. They had little mats denoting the stage area and fairly open space to be sat around. Two exceptions were Moana, which were very busy, recommended getting there around 20 minutes early, and Rapunzel, who they inexplicably tucked into a small area next to the old mill. Yes, the theme of the area will fit the show, but it was heaving with people and we couldn't see a thing. Oddly, they don't post the times of the Goofy show on the app, but we saw the end of it twice. The Music Hits concert in Hyperion was a bit odd, but okay. 4 or 5 singers performing recognisable hits, mostly in French, and then Chippendale DJing. It felt very Eurovision-esque. We only stayed for 10 minutes on the way to something else, but the kids would have stayed to watch.
You had me at Chippendale DJing with that one. Yeah.
Oh, I literally have a screenshot of them doing that.
Do you?
I found it so
I want to see what they do when the beat drops.
Is this when they dress up like Daft Punk?
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Look at that, listeners. Bonnie's holding up Tick and Tack. What are they doing?
The DJing.
They've got the sunglasses on and they're busting grooves.
I'm not sure it's focusing, but
We
kind of
like
get the
that.
impression. So finally, the grand orchestra finale at 7:30 p.m. was a really fantastic atmosphere. Unfortunately, it was rained off one night, but the next night we stood in the hub for about an hour before to secure a nice spot. The characters from the happenings reappear and circulate some of the hub stages. I would recommend standing near the Discoveryland side podiums inside the hub for best characters. Spoiler alert! There are fireworks at the end.
Yeah.
Maybe good to know if you have noise sensitivities, although it was generally a loud concert. But it was a spectacular end, and I thought possibly you could convince your kids that they'd seen the Disney fireworks without staying up till 10:40.
Sneaky.
That would work up to a certain age, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Overall, it was a fantastic trip, probably our best so far, with lots of memories to treasure. Just leaves me with one question. How old do they need to be to have the stamina for Walt Disney World?
Go now. If you've got a 6-year-old, go now.
Go now.
They'll fine.
Yeah.
It's actually, the thing is, because Brits do tend to go for longer. We do tend to do 10 to 14 days, don't we? Us Brits. You actually find your stamina's better because you're not like, when you have 3 days at Disneyland Paris, you feel the need to do 12-hour days every day. Whereas when you do 14 at Walt Disney World, you can do 4 hours in a park and then go back and chill and then go to some shops in Disney Springs. And so it tends to be a more leisurely holiday anyway. I'm always shilling for Disney.
Julia, that was an excellent report. I give you 5 stars. It was very comprehensive. Good use of the word fewer and the word denote. I appreciate that. I used that
happenings.
I used that word just 2 days ago in an argument on Facebook with some idiot who said a dog that had attacked a postman and bitten him wasn't dangerous. Anyway.
You never expect to get your grammar assessed.
No,
do you?
I'm not going to do that. Like, we're not elitist about language, but every now and again, I do appreciate the way some people vibe. And Julia, that was a good report. But mostly it was information. The information was good. And the disclaimers about can't guarantee, check with the cast member. Loved all that. 5 stars, Julia.
Lisa says, sorry I'm late, evening all. 100 days until our Disney World now. Excitement.
Excited tomorrow.
That's no time.
Excitement has definitely gone up with hitting this milestone. I agree. I get weird about milestones, don't I? Very.
I do.
And then D_ has said, hi Disney pals, Dave here. It's been ages since I've been able to watch live, but been watching on catch up every week. Yay, thank you. It's 39 days until the Disney Fantasy Cruise and 67 days until Castle Club at DLP. It's club level at the Disneyland Park Hotel. The Disneyland Hotel, sorry. Club, you get poshness. That gives me 2 reasons to be very jealous of you, Dave. Indeed.
Yes.
Disney Fantasy Cruise. I'm guessing that 39 days, the Disney Fantasy is still in Europe. So I'm guessing you're doing a fjord cruise. I'm guessing something like that. I know they do one that goes around Britain and Ireland at that time. You let me know what you're doing on the Disney Fantasy. I have been looking at the European cruises, I have to say.
I found the report from Bram. I wonder if maybe we save this for next week. Because it's another. Well, we've got 20 minutes, but it's quite a
chunky one.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not. It looks less than 1,000, but should we see?
How's your voice doing?
Well, I could read it out. It's just if people are happy for me to.
Do we have any other content available right now?
I don't.
In that case, do the trip report.
This is from Bram.
Hi, Bram.
Feeling hot. Disclaimer, writing a report 15 days after visiting is hard, so will not be 100% accurate. Sorry that it's so extensive.
That's something that police learn about doing interrogations.
For my birthdays, for 2024 and 25, my wife and I booked a trip to DLP from Sunday the 29th of June to the Tuesday the 1st of July. This without our 2 kids, 4 and 6-year-old. No worries for them, because we already had a trip to DLP in 2024 and are planning one in 2026. So that should tide them over. We're from Belgium, so DLP is only 3 hours drive away. Oh,
Gels!
Normally we would leave around 4 a.m. to get our first day early magic time. However, at the last minute, the grandparents who were looking after the kids decided to go on a trip with them even earlier. So we booked a stay at Akena Ceris for the night of the Saturday the 28th. We left on Saturday around noon and arrived around 4 p.m. Took a break on the way. First, we went shopping the shopping centre at Val d'Europe, as we never visited that place and we had time to kill. Mistake! On arrival, we noticed that the parking lot was very busy. We had to drive around for 20 minutes before we could get a parking spot. Should have been a red flag, but we ignored it since we've never been there. It was hot. 30 degrees. What's that in Fahrenheit? I've got my little chart here for our
So 30
American
degrees
friends.
Celsius.
That is. It's about
85.
About 88, 87, something like that. Mid 80s, pretty hot. It was hot, 30 degrees Celsius, and extremely busy. After a quick look at everything, we left for our hotel, checked in, drank a cocktail in the bar, and ate at La Côte et l'Arrête, which is next door.
I like your style.
Sunday, I liked the cocktail bit. Sunday, first park day, we left for an early check-in out at our beloved Sequoia Lodge hotel and went straight to the main park, where we had to wait from 8 a.m. until EMT started. At 8:25, they opened the park and we went straight to Peter Pan as one of the first ones, so no wait. Followed by Big Thunder Mountain. Big Thunder Mountain, yes, 2 times, both in EMT. So it's Big Thunder Mountain, followed by Big Thunder Mountain. Small World, Casey Jr.
These are good choices.
The Storybook Ride, Pays des Contes de Fées. Alice in Wonderland, Phantom Manor, Shows, Stars on Parade. Why is this so tiny? Casa de Coco, frozen margaritas, jalapeno bites, and burritos.
Yeah, that's tiny.
Jalapeno bites were not really hot, but tasty. They never are, these kind of things, are they? Depending on where you go, when something says it's hot, if you can buy something in the supermarket that says it's hot, it's generally not.
You appreciated slim chickens today.
I had the Reaper sauce and it was genuinely hot. Even for me, I was like,
For
whoa.
him, you have him on.
Show, Miguel's Fiesta Latina. Show, Timon's Matadance. What's that? You know what that is?
It's like Hakuna Matata. I think
Matadance. We met Mickey with virtual queue. We would never have done a character meeting without virtual queue. So there's a couple of virtual queues going on in the report today. Small World. Show, Disney Music Hits Concert, the one with the Chip and Dale at the end. This is good because, this kind of ties into Julie's report. Star Tours had one with Ahsoka and Mandalorian.
Right, I just want to pause you there because something has struck my interest. We're taught, we vlog when we go to Disney World. And Disneyland Paris. We clog.
Big clog.
We're talking about doing some kind of challenge this time that we have to vlog, and I think we're going to try and do every attraction, not shows and characters, but every attraction in Disneyland Paris in one day. And I was thinking about the tactics that go along with Peter Pan's Flight and Big Thunder Mountain, and you managed to do them both in early magic hours. So that's good to know, because I thought, A, we've been for early magic hours before and done Dumbo, and Peter Pan's Flight has not been open because we've been looking at it from the Dumbo queue, and B, even if it was, I wasn't sure it would have been the wisest choice. But with that as a strategy, that's got to put you on a good foot to do everything else.
We did 10 shows in a day at the Fringe, didn't we? Was it 10?
We did more than that once, because that...
No, I think it was 10.
Was it 10? Okay.
It was 10.
Okay.
It was like the 10 show challenge, which isn't a thing. I just set it myself.
It was stupid.
I've got some audio from that somewhere, and I've never put it anywhere. I might just whack it up on YouTube one day. Right, went back to the hotel to install our room and take a shower, as it was again a hot day, 32 degrees. Made sure to be back on time and got good spots for the Grand Orchestra finale. On arrival, we were surprised that there were still very good spots available, so we went in the middle of the big square. But soon it hit us. A cast member came to us to inform us that they would not perform a full show but a reduced parade, which we totally understand in these conditions.
We had ducks of heat once.
We looked for a nice place in the shade between the entrance of the Discovery Arcade and Flora's Boutique and waited for the parade, which was just a way to wave at the passing performers. The only characters that were in costume were Chippendale, because they are the only ones who have a parade float. Again, we understand this decision. We also realised that the following days, when they predicted 36 and 39, we would not have a chance to see the final parade.
39?
Oh, no.
That's worse than Florida?
That was also the reason we filled this day to the brim with outdoor shows instead of spreading them over 3 days. After the parade, we went to Phantom Manor. We ate dinner at Colonel Hathie's, lentil dish and vegetable balls with very good air conditioning. Visited some shops in Frontierland and Main Street. I love those shops.
Yes.
Waited in the middle of Main Street next to the Main Street Motors for the evening fireworks. What a good show. Then we went straight to bed because the next day we wanted to have EMT again. Results of the day, 29,187 steps.
That's what I like to hear. Right, just pause this out a second.
Yeah.
Because we have had a question in the chat as well, and it's worth kind of breaking up a trip report.
Yeah.
With some of the questions.
Okay, we're not too long though.
Okay, Dave. Question for each of you. Which is your favourite attraction in each land at DLP? Disneyland Park, not Studios. As it's each land, should we... Yeah, no, I think we can do it each. So I'm going to say to you quickly, Adventureland.
Pirates.
Frontierland.
Phantom.
Fantasyland.
Small World.
Oh. And Discoveryland.
Star Tours.
Same again. Adventureland.
Pirates. I don't know what's in what now.
Frontierland.
Haunted Mansion? Is that in there?
Phantom Manor. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fantasyland.
Small World.
And
Small World.
Discoveryland.
Buzz.
I mean, we're nearly the same. So I'm going to have to choose between Bonnie saying Buzz and you saying Star Tours. And I can't go on Star Tours because it makes me sick. So I'm going to go with Bonnie, and my answers are the same as hers. Although I'd like to make a little flag for the alternate attractions. Aladdin's Secret Passage or something. Boot Hill.
Enchanted Passage, I don't know. Yeah.
And the fairy tale boat ride. Are runners up. But all of those I would say are underrated attractions. Right, let's go back to this.
Monday, second day. We started out early again, too early, because the security check for the village only opens at 7:40, and you can only exit the village from 7:55 towards the parks. That means we had to queue 2 times before we could even start queuing for the studios.
I like how eager you are, though. This is what we're like in the first couple of days at Disney World.
Almost everybody we had in the queue to exit the village was going towards the studios, but I didn't really worry because we don't like Crusher's Coaster. For 2 reasons. The first and only time we rode it, almost no animation was working. Second reason, also the most important reason, I'm big and I don't really fit well. Over 2 meters and 135 kilograms. So we were the first to enter Web Slingers. Everybody ran to the right towards Crush. We enjoyed it, but lost to my wife. We had Had first place of the day. And then went for our second round straight away. Lost again. I blame it on being too big for the sensors. It's something about Lucy's got little arms, and it seems to pick up her arms a lot easier than mine. Then we went to the Ratatouille ride, which was already quite crowded. Single rider queue was on a walk-on. The normal queue was showing 30 minutes. The fast pass lane was extremely crowded at this point. We went straight back on and saw people from for the second time, because at this point, single rider lane was still only 5 minutes. By that, so yeah, single rider lane, even if you're a couple, like, just do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to sit together every time on every ride, do you?
But sometimes as well, I know that people queue as a couple in the single rider lane and then end up in the same car anyway, for one reason and another.
By that time, it was 9:55, so we were thinking, why not go for Cars Road Trip, which opens at 10. The tram is is a bit too small for me, so we still do this ride for two reasons: Catastrophe Canyon and relaxing a ride away from the crowds. Yeah, fair point. After Cars Road Trip, we were asking ourselves, what attraction is still worth waiting for? So we went for Slinky Dog Ride, 10 minutes. Flying Carpets, 10 minutes, which was actually 15 to 20 minutes. No other attraction was on our to-do list, or the wait times were too much for us. The only thing left in studios was to see Mickey and the Magician Show, because it was still before noon. There were no shows yet, and we had a reservation at the Agrabah Cafe at 1:15. So we went to explore the new world premiere. And then the type goes small again. Bought a Studios Park sweater, because this would probably be our last trip.
Do you know, I never thought
whilst
about
it is
that.
the studios.
Last time I was there, I do wish I brought some Studios merch, because I don't think we will ever see it again.
We ate a little snack in the Hollywood Gardens, Star Chicken Nuggets and the fake chicken nugget. Both were okay.
Star chicken nuggets.
Wish upon a star.
Wish upon the stars.
Enjoyed the AC and just chilled, both meanings of the word. Yeah, chilled and chilled out. Went back to something, what means? Went back to the main car park in the scorching sun. Phantom Manor, looked at some shops, had a lovely lunch at Agrabah Cafe. Tip, very small on the menu. It mentions that you can ask for a free tap water. It's not really cold though. After lunch, we went to Nautilus. My first visit. Also great air conditioning on a hot day, we recommend. Yeah, it's nice and cool down in the Nautilus. Park hopped again for Mickey and the Magician. The best nostalgic show in the park. Went to the village shops, bought a
Excuse me.
black Mickey and Minnie statue on the and the duvet set in the Disney Deco shop. We need to talk about that.
We do need to talk about the duvet set.
Let's get through this, and then we'll mention it. Then went back to the hotel to get some rest, a shower, and avoid the heat of the day from 4 a.m. until 8 a.m. Dinner at Hyperion. Really liked the Yoda burger. Some shops, Phantom Manor, Small World. To finish the day, we went for a cocktail in the Skyline bar and saw all the people return from the fireworks show. Result of the day: 23,575 steps.
Well, if you are going to get up at 7 a.m, right, should we have another little break before we're going to Tuesday?
Yeah.
We need to talk about the sheets.
Talk about the sheets.
So,
I bought those sheets.
as you know, Hugh bought me for my birthday the Disneyland Paris map sheets in double size, and I changed the sheets before I got them, and then we went on holiday for 2 weeks, and so then it was another 2 weeks before they were due to be changed again. So it's taken me quite a long time to get around to change the sheets. And when I opened the packet, the minute I opened it, I was like, this isn't a double. Check the label. It definitely says double duvet set, but the measurements are UK king size. So it's worth noting that the French obviously have different measurements for what they think a double is. I don't know if they have a queen in a double, or if they have like a 3/4 size or something that might be equivalent to our double.
Chunky beds.
They must have chunky beds.
So I've got to buy a new duvet. So this present's getting more and more expensive. And this pillows are square, you said.
Yeah.
The pillowcases are square.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not buying square pillows.
Well,
though.
no. And I thought, oh well, maybe that's the French way to have square pillows. And then I thought, no, because we stay at French hotels and they don't have square pillows, do they?
This
It's
is not
really
good.
odd. It's really odd.
Not good.
Not good. Anyway, we rather than waste this absolutely beautiful duvet set, we are going to buy a king size duvet because it's
Mercedes says that's so annoying.
Yes.
Right, Tuesday.
Absolutely, it's annoying.
Third and last day, or how to survive the heat and get back home. We were a little bit later today because we didn't want to have the queues everywhere like the day before. We loaded everything in the car so we didn't have to return to the hotel to clear our room. However, we were still first in queue for the main park for EMT.
They are tenacious.
On it! Spoke with two lovely British ladies and we exchanged some information on the park and how DLP are dealing with the heat. Tactic was simple for this EMT. First Peter Pan, then Thunder Mountain. We were the first to arrive at Peter Pan. We don't run. I have big legs. But it was not started up yet.
You are, I know people like you because I'm 5'2.5" and Bonnie's a weenie person. And it's like, we're doing as fast as we can. And then an ent walks past us, like with these big long legs. And for every stride I take, they take. Anyway, I take 3 strides for every one they take. Right, go on.
Those were a lot of steps without results. So we hurried to Big Thunder Mountain. Loved it. We saw that the queue was okay and went again. Toilet break and checked the queues of the other attractions. Decided to go on Big Thunder Mountain again. Yes, you read that right. 3 times in a row. Always go left side. You have bins, a drinking fountain, and shorter queue.
Oh, when it splits, you mean? Interesting.
By that time, Snow White was open, so we went in the queue there. Tip for duo travellers on Snow White. Sometimes there are only families of 4 in the queue. Then they ask if there are 2 people anywhere. In that way, we shortened our wait time by approximately 10 minutes. Then, initially the plan was Pinocchio, but by then the line was 25 minutes, so we went to some shops in the castle and visited the Cave of the Dragon. Then decided to go for the last time on Phantom Manor. Went to Casa de Coco for some frozen margaritas and some salad. We took the margaritas with us to queue for the Lion King show. Rhythm of the Pride Lands. Rhythms of the Pride's Lands. A cast member was trying to get everybody to wait in the shade. Unfortunately, it was without ropes before the actual queue. So the moment it opened, it was chaos. They let people in earlier so we could wait in the AC, which was nice. This show is the best performance of the park. Lunch at Colonel Hathie's, Mickey Pizza with salad. Visit some shops on the way to Small World. There was a Belgian radio presenting from Hyperion, so went to Wave. Got some last presents, 2 Stitch blushes for our kids. They were 50% off. Went to the Disney Hotel, visited the shop. Some more shops in the village. Oh, now this is tiny. I thought it was like an underline.
Yeah.
There's something about the formatting. It keeps everything on one line. So like when you bullet pointed it, it's like
secret code or something.
I'm gonna have to like lower my glasses for this. Went for a drink in Sequoia Lodge bar and got some Disney Magic. We asked after we finished our drinks to fill our bottles with some ice for the road. The moment the cast member noticed how hot our bottles were, she emptied our bottles, rinsed it out, refilled it with fresh tap water, and filled it up with ice. Shout out to that lovely lady.
Aww.
Drove home with Disney music from that Belgian radio, which was a lovely end to our great trip. Result of the day, 16,217 steps.
Respect.
Right.
And that's with long legs. Imagine how many that would be if you were my height.
And finally, some general remarks. Spanish people... I'm going to leave that out. Fill in the gaps. Okay. This is why we need to like preview this.
Yeah.
Air conditioning in the shops is godlike.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah.
If you go in very hot conditions at approximately 12 a.m. till 8 p.m, they close. Autopia, Le Pays des Cons de Fées and Casey Jr. because there is no shade for the cast members. If the app says it only shows will open soon. The AC in Sequoia Lodge room was not good enough. Luckily, we were on the ground floor and that had a lot of shade. And what's this? Water fountains are very accessible. Don't be afraid to fill your bottle in the toilet area. They clearly show which tap is drinking water and which one is not. On some occasions, there were long lines at the official bottle fill stations outside the toilets. However, if you enter the toilets, which are next to it, there were no people filling their bottles in the drinkable water faucets. Can you hear that rain?
Oh my god.
I was just going to say, I don't know if you're aware, but Floridian style rain has just started behind us.
Do you know,
those are our patio doors.
I watch a lot of YouTube and people with decent mics are always going, "Oh, I'm sorry if you can hear the cicadas outside," or sorry, someone's mowing his lawn, and I can never hear anything. So you might not be able to hear that, but anyway.
And right as you said that, I was typing, "Is rain affecting the audio?"
Non-Disney trip for the rains on Paradise.
Yeah, that's the Panda Zoo to you and me.
Oh, right. This is truly an amazing park. We've been there 4 times already. We'll probably go again this summer. It really is a full day park. At the moment, they are working on a massive extension, even with a water park. Best regards, Bram.
I want to go, 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 I want to go to the
Thank you for your trip reports. They were very comprehensive, guys.
Chris will have been to Efteling and he can be all comprehensive about that. And we can go to Paradise, I think it's pronounced, and talk about the Panda Park. And we can be comprehensive about that. I really want to go, Bonnie.
Well, that's in the show. Anything to add, Bonnie?
No.
Because I'm aware we've got you in the show and I've just rattled through 2 trip reports. But sometimes it's just nice to have you here.
You balance the screen. It is going crazy behind us. It doesn't help that we're next to patio doors above the decking.
Guys, right, my lawn looked abysmal a week and a half ago, right? Get yourself, this is not an advert, but we will be sponsored by these guys, Evergreen Extreme Green. One application, my lawn looks amazing. The colour, it's gone from patchy yellow, brown, green. It's dark green across the board. Lovely stuff. Evergreen Extreme Green. Not an advert.
I feel like we should take the blanket down and open the curtains and let them all see the rain.
No, it's too dark.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
And there's the lights, you know.
Yeah, because they are saying they can hear it.
Oh, right.
They're like going...
I like it, it's moody.
Yeah. Right.
We probably missed a lot in the chat. I can see Bram's here.
I've been keeping an eye on it. I was going to say, because we're not doing the extra magic time for patrons today because we don't have the moment skills, we're happy to do an extra 5 minutes in Q&A, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Bonnie doesn't have to, she does have to be at school tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I do.
She's going on a residential tomorrow.
wow.
Maybe
10 minutes.
10 minutes. If there's anything
And
going
straight
on.
to bed.
Yeah, as I'm listening to that, I'm thinking, what am I really looking forward to about doing our October trip? I am looking forward to doing the challenge now, and it's because we will ride things that we often say no to. What reminded me of this was Bram looked at the wait time for Pinocchio and went 25 minutes. Let's not do it. But we really love Pinocchio and stuff like that, and we do the same. We never do it because I'm not waiting that long. But if we're doing the challenge, we'll definitely do them all, and that's wonderful.
A very, 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 very long time ago on the show, the wind was very loud and you could hear it, and we said, hashtag let the wind join.
Yeah.
And now I've put hashtag let the rain join.
Let the rain join.
And we were saying that it's just trying to come in.
It is.
And I do.
Now Hugh just did a gasp at an exciting comment then.
John said, let's talk about the Walt animatronic.
Oh
Right.
man.
Just give a little background. What is this, Huey?
Well, in Anaheim, right, there's a new Walt attraction. What's it called? Do we know what it's even called?
I'll look it up.
Look it up.
It's something like One Man's Dream, but I think that's the one in.
Start with mouse or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a Walt animatronic, and I will say, I had this opinion. My first reaction was, and every comment I've seen, I don't think it's a bandwagon. People seem to be independently going, oh, it looks very technically brilliant, but am I wrong in saying it doesn't look like it?
It doesn't.
And that's the general opinion. I mean, and I know it's very difficult to make something that amazing, that moves and stands up and talks, but the likeness is a bit off, isn't it?
What?
I've got a theory about this, right? Because it's the width of the head. It's got a very wide square head, but the actual mechanical things that they must have to fit inside a skull. Because you see it a little bit at halls of presidents, like someone like Donald Trump, who's got quite a round face anyway, it seems okay. But people who are meant to have narrower faces, like Obama, do tend to look chunky. And I think it's just because they've got so many electronics. I liked it. And I kind of like it. It isn't perfect because it feels very nostalgic. It's to celebrate the 70th anniversary of Disneyland Resort, and it's called Walt Disney: A Magical Life.
It just doesn't look like...
But the movements are amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he leans back on the desk and then he comes forward and he's doing little subtle movements like this. It's really, really good.
I'll tell you what, though, I've seen more than one, so 2 YouTubers saying it looks okay from far away. And I think that is a very low bar, guys. You know, like they seem to be overly like charitable about it, saying that, I think, because I don't think that's good enough to say that. It looks okay from the distance, in context with the lighting, etc., etc. It's like you're really clutching at straws, I think, there.
Now,
I think generally it's a great thing, but I just wish it looked
that's
a
good.
bit more convincing.
I'd love to see the show as well, because I love anything like that. In fact, we love all the
We love the animatronic stuff.
The World Showcase shows in Epcot, anything like that. And I know it's a little bit dry and geeky.
We like Hall of Presidents. We like the American Pavilion Show. What's it called?
The American Adventure.
Spread your golden wings. We love.
We love like Canada. We love the cinema shows like Awesome Planet.
Carousel of Progress.
Carousel of Progress. Love that.
Do you know what? No one, even Brits, everyone calls it Carousel of Progress, but we must remember that we do pronounce it Progress.
Yes.
It's very easy to call it Progress and forget.
Dave says, if you could have any other Disney content creator as a guest on the podcast, who would you invite and why? I have a ready answer for this. Now, the thing is, it's difficult because we are friends with quite a few content creators, such as Sam Forgod, friend of the show, and Mercedes from Chat Disney, Art Magical by Sarah, people like this. So I don't want to choose someone else. But Len Tester from Disney Dish is my hero, and I'll tell you why. He's a statistician turned Disney. He's not even just like a Disney fan, because he runs the website Touring Plans, and he also used to do the Disney World unofficial guidebook, like printed guidebook. But he collates in like the geekiest information, and people will ask him questions like,
you need to make a spreadsheet together.
Oh, he's got spreadsheets for everything. And they're saying now that they've changed the DAS pass, how does that affect standby queues? And he'll say, well, because he's got a whole team of people working for him. And he'll say, well, we stationed someone at the entrance to this, counting how many people went in and out. We stationed another person at the entrance to the DAS pass, count how many people. And we can tell you that it's gone up by 33%. And my geeky little heart is going, oh my God, I love it. Now, he doesn't have any stats to do with Disneyland Paris. So when he comes to Disneyland Paris, he is coming as a punter. And I would just love to have him on the show, to ask him as a punter what it feels like for someone who's a statistician somewhere else, because he must look at things very differently. But also I'd love to just quiz him on all the weird statistics. So big plug for his show, which is the Disney Dish with Jim Hill.
Bonnie?
I don't know.
You do have favourite content creators there, Disney content creators.
All ears. Someone from
all ears. Which, go on, choose one.
Sage.
Sage.
Oh, we
Sage
all love
Starkey.
Sage. Yeah, that'd be fun to have
Yeah.
Sage on. I would go for what's he called? Brent. What's he called?
Breedlove.
No, from
I
Mickey,
don't
Mickey
know.
Views. Braden.
Braden
From Mickey Views, and I would like to talk to him. I would like to basically just agree with him over a table about how we dislike some of the new refurbs for the resorts at Disney World.
Yeah. Another channel, Mickey Views. He doesn't hold back on criticising.
But he's fair. He's fair. I think he's often got some of the best opinions on some of the new developments.
There are a lot of content creators who are very positive about everything, and I understand why, because when I watch them, I want to get excited about my holiday, and sometimes even I don't want to watch people just moaning about everything. I'm like, that's not getting me excited for it. However,
you can be positive to a fault where I start to become a bit mistrusting about what they're saying if the mission is just to be nice about everything.
Yeah.
Because you can't like everything for real, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's just a front to be positive.
And I am going to name here.
No, don't.
I am.
Careful.
No, I am.
Okay.
Nate from Paging Miss Tomorrow. We watch loads of his stuff. We think he's absolutely great. He's such a nice guy. He's so friendly.
He does some of my favourite resort tours.
He does. So I absolutely recommend him. However, he never says even a mildly negative thing about anything, does it? To the point where it's like you can't. If he says it's wonderful, you like, well, is it? Or are you just saying it's?
That's his
wonderful?
mission statement, though.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah. So
you have to buy into that if you're watching.
And then other people, you want to get the truth, and Braden will give you the truth to a fault. I think so. It's I think consume it all.
We have like a role. Like I'm the surliest, you're the most positive, and Chris is like nice in the middle. Bonnie's pretty. You're like me, I think.
I just don't know what's going on.
You don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that is like me.
No, but Bonnie believes in being the magic, don't you? We always try.
Magic. I want some magic. I'm gonna disappear.
But I think you're going to grow up a cynic. You've had to spend too much time with your father.
D_ says, if you could have any other Disney oh, we had that one. This guy sounds great. He says, they say.
I'd love to.
They says.
Dave, yeah, I'd love to do Drinking Around the World with Molly and Alan from Mammoth Club. They seem like crazy fun. Yes, I think we would be friends.
We've met Molly, but I'd love to bump into Alan.
Yeah. He agrees that some creators are false positives. Patron Mr. Morrow does feel like he leans that way sometimes. Not everything can taste or be amazing. Yeah, I agree. But also, sometimes you want that, don't you? Sometimes you just want that.
Yeah,
kind of...
some people, if you're negative, will just come into your reviews and just be saying, "Oh, you guys are so negative all the time." You know, we've had that in the past, I think. But the thing is, it's weird because I love it when people are ripping into something. I love a review of a film that someone really dislikes. I love it. I think it's so interesting when someone gets so worked up about something.
I'm not so much. I like to, keep a PMA about everything, but that's why we balance each other out. The salt and the sugar and the tequila shot.
Fire and ice.
Salt, sugar,
the
tequila shot.
Peanut and the colada.
Yes, absolutely. Right, should we hit this one on the head then, guys? We've done our 10 mins. Oh, John says there's a great little DLP community on TikTok. Happy Catherine and Claire are two of my faves. Oh, Happily Catherine and Nick and Claire are two of my faves. Cool.
And I've just started watching.
I'm not on TikTok.
What's she called?
Catherine K.
K. Just started watching her, and I just really like her, the way she makes her videos.
I'm jealous of her business.
Yeah, she's an illustrator.
Oh yeah.
She makes merchandise and things.
Right, well, thank you all very much for being with us tonight. I've been Lucy. These have been the Rains. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.
Now you've got to have a finger.
I'm coming towards you with my big finger. My medium-sized finger. Bye, everyone.
Bye.